Today, we'll be discussing a crisis that is currently brewing in the beef industry. U.S. ranchers are reporting the biggest drop in cattle production in almost 60 years. This has led to rising costs across the board, with everything from livestock to supplies to feed and fuels facing increases of more than 50%. Many operations are becoming unviable, and profitability is in jeopardy. This crisis is set to have worrying consequences for our food system, and it's important that we raise awareness of the issue. As we mentioned earlier, the crisis in the beef industry is unprecedented. Beef prices are expected to skyrocket as inventory shrinks even more in the months ahead. This will hit producers, retailers, and consumers alike, and trigger some worrying consequences for our food systems. The outlook couldn't be gloomier for the nation's food supply chain. In fact, there is a catastrophic meat deficit looming on the horizon. According to experts, this deficit could lead to long-lasting shortages and price increases. So, what's causing this crisis? U.S. beef producers are still thinning their herds in near-record numbers, and experts are warning that this will lead to some alarming supply problems in the beef industry starting this summer. In the past few years, extreme drought has prompted U.S. ranchers to reduce their herd sizes by sending more cattle to slaughter. Typically, this would drive cattle prices down. However, in an environment of inflation and high demand, prices are at record levels, and if there's less supply in the future, that will push up prices further, consequently affecting consumer prices. In 2022, producers sold thousands of extra cattle in the fall to make up for a shortage in feed. Cattle producers are used to dealing with extreme situations. However, when you get multiple years in a row, that's when you start to run out of the feed inventories, and that forces you into more difficult decisions in terms of reducing cattle numbers. Given that this spring is also dry in many regions, in some areas just as bad as 2022, that forced producers to sell. U.S. producers have contracted their herds for the last 3 years for a variety of reasons. While this means more beef was being produced in the short term, it meant that supply would eventually go down as herds got smaller and producers sent fewer cattle to slaughter while they tried to rebuild their herds. Although it is normal for production to fluctuate from year to year, this time something is different. The drought has reached disastrous levels, wreaking havoc on farmers, ranches, and their land. Many beef producers have had to make tough decisions due to less forage, pastures, and rangeland. Beef producers are noticing an increase in dispersals coming into cattle sales this year. The increase in feed prices is driving some folks to bring additional bred cows to sell. This has resulted in many ranches just doing full dispersals of everything over 8 years old. The year following a drought year can be tough for forage production for grazing, even with normal precipitation. The cost of inputs such as minerals, premix, and protein additives that can extend feed supplies or make poorer quality feed palatable, or part of a balanced ration, are facing price increases of more than 50%. This drought situation is affecting everyone. The hay pipeline from northern and eastern regions where they did have some rain last year has been used up, and there are no local supplies left. It's just downright hard to find any hay. Producers are increasingly struggling to find affordable feed alternatives, and this is putting further pressure on the already fragile beef industry. The crisis in the beef industry is not just limited to the U.S. Other countries, such as Canada and Australia, are also facing similar issues due to drought and other environmental factors. This means that the shortage in supply will not only affect the U.S., but also global markets, leading to higher prices for consumers worldwide. To mitigate the crisis in the beef industry, there needs to be a concerted effort from all stakeholders. Farmers and ranchers can take steps to increase their herds, but this will take time, and the industry needs short-term solutions to prevent a complete collapse. Governments can offer assistance to affected producers and implement policies that promote sustainable farming practices. Consumers can also play a role by supporting local producers and reducing their beef consumption, which can help alleviate the strain on the industry. The crisis in the beef industry is a serious issue that cannot be ignored. The impact of this crisis will be felt by everyone, from producers to retailers to consumers. The shortage in supply and rising prices could have long-lasting effects on our food systems. and it's important that we take action to prevent a complete collapse of the industry. We hope that this discussion has raised awareness of the issue, and we encourage everyone to support their local producers and make informed choices about their beef consumption. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.